Chosen ones. The moment your eyes landed on the number 111 shining on the thumbnail, something stirred deep within your spirit, urging you to click. This wasn't a random scroll or a clever algorithm at work. It was a divine summons, meticulously orchestrated by God Himself. In the Bible and Christian life, the number 111 carries profound spiritual weight, symbolizing divine unity, new beginnings, and God's perfect alignment, rooted in biblical numerology. The number 1 represents God's singularity and sovereignty, as seen in the oneness of God in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, which states, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." When tripled, 111 amplifies His promise of a fresh start, a call to align with His purpose, and the assurance of His presence in your comeback. What obstacles is He calling you to overcome? You're not here by chance. You're here because God has appointed this moment to awaken your purpose. I invite you to join a global community of faith by sharing in the comments where you're watching from, your city or country, and type 111 to declare your readiness for His divine transformation. Everything you pour out today, your faith, your trust, your openness, God will return to you tenfold. Let's embrace this sacred moment together and step into the comeback that will shock the world. Chosen ones, your comeback will shock everyone. You are about to embark on a journey of rediscovery, a powerful return that will leave everyone around you in awe, completely astonished by the strength and purpose that radiates from within you. Deep down, from the very beginning, you knew your destiny was unlike any other. It might have come as a quiet whisper in the stillness of the night, a feeling so profound that it resonated deep in your heart, or even an inner voice that you could never quite silence, no matter how hard you tried. This call was more than just a passing thought. It was the first sign that you were chosen for something extraordinary, something far greater than anything you had imagined. Do you remember that moment when everything suddenly clicked, when the pieces of your life, no matter how disjointed they seemed, began to fit together? It was as though a divine light illuminated your path, giving you clarity and direction, just like the small signs that led Moses through the wilderness, guiding him toward his purpose. These fleeting moments in your life are your own guiding beacons. They have been there all along, offering glimpses of the greater destiny awaiting you. For many, this call comes in unexpected ways, often wrapped in ordinary events that take on profound significance. Perhaps you met someone who saw something in you that you had overlooked, or experienced a dream that felt so vivid it seemed to step out of the realm of sleep and into your waking reality. These brief encounters, these small moments, may have seemed insignificant to others, but to you, they were undeniable. They left a lasting imprint on your soul, serving as a reminder that you were meant for something more. Could it have been a sign from God, guiding you toward your divine mission? Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This is the truth you are now beginning to understand. But with this calling came responsibility, a responsibility that often feels too heavy to bear. Perhaps the weight of this purpose made you question whether you were truly capable of fulfilling it. The world around you might not understand the depths of your calling, and in those moments of isolation, you may have felt like an outsider, as though you were walking a path that others couldn't follow. Have you ever wondered why the journey feels so lonely at times? Even when surrounded by others, could it be that this isolation is simply a sign of your uniqueness? A divine reminder that you are not meant to walk the same road as everyone else. You were not made to fit into conventional molds. You were designed to break them, to create new paths and lead others toward them. The path you are meant to walk is not one of ease. It's one of transformation. Matthew chapter 7 verses 13 to 14 confirms that Jesus speaks of the narrow path, the one that leads to life, urging those who hear his call to walk it, even though few will find it. This is the path you are on, a path that requires strength and perseverance, but also brings clarity, purpose, and a deeper connection to the divine. Accepting this responsibility, no matter how daunting it may seem, is the first step toward true transformation. You might have felt the weight of doubt pressing against you, questioning whether you could really fulfill the purpose set before you. But even in those moments when the journey seemed unbearably difficult, the flame of your calling has never been extinguished. It continues to burn within you, fueling your spirit and propelling you forward. What if the doubts you faced have been the very challenges shaping you into the person you were always meant to become? What if every struggle you faced has been preparing you for the comeback that will shock the world? Keep moving forward. God is guiding you every step of the way, and your destiny is about to unfold in a way you've never imagined. Every challenge you faced, every obstacle you've overcome, is a testament to the inner strength that resides within you, a strength that few can comprehend. This power, forged through time and trials, is the very force that will propel you toward a triumphant return. Reflect on each test you've encountered. They were not just random struggles. Each one was a necessary preparation. These challenges were designed to shape your character, strengthen your resolve, and equip you for what lies ahead. James chapter 1 verse 3 mentions, "Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Have you ever wondered if these obstacles were truly steps toward fulfilling a greater purpose? Your journey is a clear reflection of this divine strengthening. Perhaps you've questioned why things have been so difficult, why the road seems so steep. But with each hardship, you grew stronger. The trials weren't meant to break you, but to build you up, to cultivate the resilience and faith needed for your comeback. It's in those moments of uncertainty and struggle that your true character was formed. Just as God molded Joseph through his many years of hardship before elevating him to a position of power. As Genesis chapter 41 verse 46 confirms, the obstacles you faced were never random. They were the tools God used to prepare you for your divine mission. The call you felt within you was never something easy to ignore. It's as though it follows you everywhere, through your thoughts, your dreams, and even your daily actions. At times, perhaps you tried to stray, tempted by the allure of easier, less demanding paths. But no matter how far you wandered, there was always something pulling you back. That persistent tug is not just a feeling, but a divine calling, one that refuses to be ignored. Do you ever feel like, no matter how hard you try to avoid it, that calling always finds its way back to you? Could it be that this is God's way of reminding you that you are destined for something greater? This persistence is not a coincidence, but a powerful testimony to the undeniable nature of your calling. It's not just a decision you can make or a path you can choose. It's a divine assignment, one that defines who you are at your core. Romans chapter 8 verse 30 declares, "And those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified." You were chosen long before you realized it. Your return, your triumph, is inevitable because it's part of God's perfect plan for you. This is not just a momentary choice. It's your destiny unfolding. What comes next is a series of revelations and transformations that will awaken your full potential. As you begin to embrace this, you will witness your own growth and the development of a strength so profound that it will leave the world in awe. Each moment of your journey, every bit of pain, and every victory is an essential piece of the puzzle that is your extraordinary life. Can you see now how all the pieces are coming together to reveal a picture much greater than you imagined? Every moment has led you to this point, preparing you for the greatness that is now within your grasp. Now is the time to fully embrace your role as one of the chosen. This is not a time to shy away or doubt your worth. The greatness that is coming is not just a possibility, but a certainty. Your return will not merely surprise others, it will revolutionize everything. Just as Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt through the wilderness and into the promised land, your journey will require perseverance, faith, and the strength to cross through the desert. That desert is not a punishment, but a refining process, just as it was for Jesus, who spent 40 days in the desert preparing for his ministry. As Matthew chapter 4 verse 11 confirms, the crossing through this desert is crucial, for it is in the wilderness that you will encounter God's presence most profoundly and be refined for the tasks ahead. Are you ready to embrace what lies beyond? The world is about to witness a transformation so powerful that it will not just change your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your comeback isn't just a return. It's a revolution that will shake the foundations of everything you've ever known. Stay faithful, stay strong, and prepare for the extraordinary. The best is yet to come. Imagine yourself walking through a vast, arid desert where the relentless heat burns your skin and the oppressive silence amplifies the loneliness around you. The desert in this metaphor represents those seasons of your life when everything seems to conspire against you, when the weight of adversity feels unbearable and the end seems nowhere in sight. But it is during these very moments, in the heart of struggle, that your true character is shaped. Have you ever wondered how some of life's toughest moments seem to bring out the most powerful version of yourself? Could it be that, like the desert, these trials are refining you into who you were always meant to become? Every step you take in the desert, each grain of sand beneath your feet, is a testament to your resilience and unwavering determination. The heat you feel, the exhaustion that seems unending, these are not signs of weakness but proof of your strength to endure. Throughout this journey, you faced countless adversities. The sandstorms that rage through the desert symbolize the crises, the unexpected challenges, and the moments when everything seemed to fall apart. These storms have tested your resilience, pushing you to your limits. How many times have you felt as though everything was going wrong, and yet somehow you kept moving forward? The lack of water, the absence of shelter. These are the moments when support and resources feel scarce, when you have no one to lean on and nowhere to turn. These circumstances force you to dig deep within yourself to find the strength to continue. It's in these moments, when everything seems lost, that you realize just how powerful your inner strength is. You might feel as though you're walking alone, but God has always been right there with you, providing for your every need. In the wilderness, the Israelites were tested, and it was there, in the barrenness, that they learned to trust God like never before. As Exodus chapter 16 verse 4 confirms, just like them, your desert experience is not a punishment, but a place where your faith, character, and inner strength are being strengthened. Each challenge you've overcome in this desert has been a lesson learned, a new skill gained, a new depth to your character added. Every obstacle you faced has been proof that you are capable of overcoming whatever comes your way. Do you see it now? That the desert was not just a phase of suffering, but a crucial stage of self-discovery. This period has taught you not just survival, but growth. As James chapter 1 verse 3 states, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Through each test, you've been shaped into someone who cannot be easily broken. Can you look back and see how far you've come? The desert is also a place of deep reflection. With the distractions of the outside world stripped away, you are forced to confront your inner fears, doubts, and insecurities. It is here, in this solitude, that you are given the space to hear the voice within, the voice that always knew your potential, the voice that has been guiding you toward your true purpose. This inner voice is not one of fear or doubt, but one that calls you to greatness. How often do you listen to that still, small voice? Could it be that this voice is God speaking directly to your heart, showing you who you were always meant to be? The silence and isolation of the desert were not meant to break you, but to prepare you for something greater. In these moments of solitude, you found the clarity you needed to understand the calling you've received. The desert, though harsh, is where your mind and spirit were refined, readying you for the triumphant return that is to come. Can you feel it? The stirring within, the knowledge that your journey is about to take a new turn, this time in the wilderness, though painful, has been an essential part of your transformation. It was never about the suffering. It was about the preparation for what lies ahead. Crossing the desert is a rite of passage for the chosen ones. Think of the great heroes throughout history: Moses in the wilderness, David facing his giants, Jesus in the desert before his ministry began. All of them faced their own internal and external battles. They did not emerge from these trials as the same people. They emerged stronger, clearer in their purpose, ready to lead and inspire. Your battles there too have not been for nothing. The pain, the struggle, the loneliness, all of it has revealed your true strength. You are not the person you were when you entered the desert. You have been tested, and now you are ready for the triumph that will follow. Your return will not just be a return to what you were. It will be a return to a new version of yourself, stronger, more resilient, and more powerful than ever before. Are you ready to step into that greatness? Your triumph is not only inevitable, but imminent. The desert has prepared you for what is coming. Your comeback is going to shock everyone, and it all begins now. Each scar you've acquired during this journey is a testament to your courage, resilience, and unwavering perseverance. The desert, with all its harshness and unforgiving conditions, played an essential role in shaping you into the person you were always destined to be. Have you ever looked at your scars, not as marks of defeat, but as symbols of your strength and endurance? Every cut, every bruise represents a battle fought and won, a challenge overcome. These scars are not signs of weakness but badges of honor, proof that you have withstood the fiercest trials and have emerged stronger. Despite the unrelenting difficulties of the desert, it also brought moments of unexpected victories and divine miracles. Just as the Israelites found water in the wilderness, every oasis you stumbled upon, every patch of shade that offered temporary relief, was a moment of hope and renewal. These fleeting moments of reprieve weren't just random occurrences. They were divine reminders that even in the darkest and most desolate times, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Have you ever experienced those small, miraculous moments in the midst of your trials, where everything seemed impossible, yet somehow you were carried through? These moments were not just coincidences, but the hand of God sustaining you, preparing you for what's to come. Every oasis found, every moment of comfort, fueled your faith and kept you moving forward, even when the situation seemed utterly impossible. It's easy to lose sight of your purpose when everything around you seems to be falling apart. But it's in these moments that your faith is tested and strengthened. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9 declares, "But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.'" It is in your weakest moments that God's strength is most apparent, helping you to continue on your journey one step at a time. Looking back now, you can see that the desert was not a place of hopelessness. It was the necessary preparation for your triumphant return. Each challenge you overcame, every reflection you made, and every fleeting moment of hope were all vital to building the foundation for your future success. You may not have understood it at the time, but every part of this journey was shaping you, making you wiser, stronger, and more prepared than ever before. The desert was never meant to be the end. It was the beginning of a new era in your life, one of achievement, glory, and the fulfillment of your destiny. Do you see how far you've come? The trials you faced were not meant to break you, but to mold you into the person who could handle the success and greatness that is coming. The journey of the chosen ones is often paved with hardship, and while the desert may seem like a long and difficult road, it was the crucible that forged your true strength. On any great journey, moments of downfall are inevitable. There are those low points when everything seems to fall apart, when the path forward becomes clouded with uncertainty. It's during these moments of despair that you might have questioned everything, your purpose, your calling, even your faith. For you, the chosen ones, these setbacks can feel particularly painful. Every failure feels like a direct blow against the destiny you know deep down you were meant for. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that true strength and character are forged. Every fall, every failure is not a sign of defeat, but an opportunity for growth, a chance to rise stronger than before. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 16 states, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." It's not the falling that defines you, but how you rise after each fall. Each time you stumble, you gain the strength to stand taller, more resolute in your purpose. These moments of failure, though painful, are not in vain. They teach you lessons that success never could. Have you ever considered how the challenges you faced and the failures you endured are the very things that will propel you toward your destiny? These are the moments that strip away everything that is not essential, allowing you to rise from the ashes like a phoenix, more powerful and determined than ever. This is the journey of the chosen ones, not a smooth, easy path, but one filled with lessons, growth, and the continual process of becoming the person God has always intended for you to be. The pain you've endured, the setbacks, and the falls were not meant to stop you. They were part of your preparation. The triumph that awaits you will be so much greater because of what you've already overcome. Every scar tells a story of resilience, every hardship a chapter of strength. Your return will not just be a moment of victory, it will be a powerful testimony to the greatness you found through the trials you faced. You're about to show the world the true extent of your power, your potential, and your destiny. The desert was only the beginning. Your triumph is inevitable, and is coming sooner than you think. Falls often come in unexpected ways. Perhaps it was a significant loss, a broken relationship, or an opportunity that slipped through your fingers. These painful events can shake your confidence and make you question your worth, your purpose, and the path you thought you were walking. It's natural to feel defeated, to wonder if everything you've worked for was in vain. Have you ever found yourself in one of those moments where everything feels lost and the weight of your circumstances feels unbearable? Yet, these moments are not the end. They are simply part of the journey. It's crucial to remember that these moments of loss and failure don't define who you are, but rather how you respond to them. Each time you rise, no matter how heavy the burden, you demonstrate a resilience that not only surprises others, but also yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you faced a setback and surprised even yourself by getting back up? It's often in the moments of deepest pain that the strength you didn't even know you had emerges. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 16 confirms, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." It's not the fall that matters. It's how you rise, how you choose to respond to the challenges that shape you. This resilience, the ability to keep moving forward even when everything seems to be falling apart, is what sets you apart as one of the chosen ones. During these downturns, the temptation to give up can be overwhelming. The weight of unfulfilled expectations, dreams deferred, and disappointments can be crushing. Yet, it is in these moments of greatest temptation that you're called to rise. Instead of succumbing to defeat, you tap into an inexhaustible well of inner strength. This strength isn't born from a superficial desire to succeed. It stems from a deep, unwavering conviction that you are destined for something greater. Can you feel it? That belief that no matter what happens, you are called to a higher purpose. This is the strength that drives you to continue, even when the road ahead seems uncertain, when everything feels lost. It's the faith that God is using every moment, every struggle, to prepare you for what is yet to come. Each fall, no matter how painful, brings with it valuable lessons. These lessons are like precious stones buried deep within the challenges you face. And though they may be hidden at first, they reveal themselves when you least expect it. What are the lessons that have come from your struggles? Perhaps they have taught you humility, patience, and perseverance, qualities that are essential for your growth and transformation. These lessons are not just meant to be learned but internalized, for it is through these lessons that you gain the wisdom needed to face the future with a stronger, more resilient heart. Romans chapter 5 verses 3 to 4 states, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." Every fall, every setback is an opportunity for growth, a chance to strengthen your character and build a deeper trust in God's plan for your life. Perhaps most importantly, these falls teach you the importance of trusting yourself and the process. Learning to accept and understand these lessons is fundamental to your personal transformation. Have you ever looked back on a difficult period and realized how much you learned from it? Even though at the time you couldn't see the purpose behind it, it is through embracing these lessons, accepting them as part of your journey, that you begin to see the bigger picture. Your understanding of yourself, of your purpose, and of the world around you deepens, allowing you to approach future challenges with a new perspective. You are no longer the person you were before the fall. You are someone who has learned, grown, and transformed. In addition to the lessons, falls also provide moments of introspection. In the quiet aftermath of a fall, when the noise of the world fades away, you are given the space to reflect deeply on your life. This period of stillness is essential for connecting with your inner self, for re-evaluating your goals, and for rediscovering your purpose. During this time, you may realize that what you thought was important may no longer hold the same value. Introspection gives you the clarity to see beyond the immediate struggles and to understand the bigger picture. Your divine purpose and the role you are meant to play in this world. It is in these moments of reflection that you begin to chart a new course, adjusting your plans and preparing for the big return. This renewed clarity is essential for the journey ahead. As you begin to see your life from a higher perspective, you're equipped to plan your path forward with greater intention and purpose. Each moment of introspection, each lesson learned, and every piece of wisdom gained will serve as the foundation for your future success. Your return will not be the same as before. It will be stronger, wiser, and more focused. The challenges you faced, the falls you've endured, are simply the stepping stones that have prepared you for the extraordinary things that are yet to come. The bigger picture is becoming clearer, and with each step, you are getting closer to fulfilling your true destiny. Are you ready to embrace the journey ahead with renewed strength and unwavering faith? Your comeback is not just possible, it is inevitable. There was a pivotal moment in your journey, a moment when everything began to fall into place, and suddenly the pieces of your life made sense. This moment often comes unexpectedly, perhaps during a sleepless night, a quiet walk through nature, or in a moment of deep contemplation. It's as if a light was turned on inside you, illuminating parts of your soul that had long been hidden in the shadows. Have you ever experienced that sudden clarity, when it feels like the fog lifts and you see everything more clearly than ever before? That moment wasn't just a fleeting flash of understanding. It marked the beginning of an inner awakening, a profound shift in your consciousness that would forever change your perspective. This inner awakening is a unique and powerful experience, one that reveals the truths that have always been there, but were previously obscured by the noise, distractions, and worries of everyday life. As you woke to this new awareness, you began to see the world, and most importantly, yourself, in an entirely new light. The challenges you once saw as obstacles, the falls that felt like failures, now revealed themselves as opportunities to grow, to evolve, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Can you think of a time when what seemed like a setback actually became a turning point in your life? In that moment, you shifted your mindset, seeing every difficulty as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This shift in perspective didn't just change how you saw the past. It began to shape your future, preparing you for the triumphant return that is about to unfold. It's as though this awakening was a divine invitation to step into your full potential, and you are now on the path to a return that will astound those around you. With this awakening came a newfound understanding of your potential. You began to recognize the unique skills and talents you've always possessed, many of which may have been underestimated or overlooked, either by yourself or others. Perhaps you've had moments in your life where your abilities were dismissed, or you felt unsure of your own worth. But in this awakening, everything became clear. These talents, once hidden or undervalued, are the essential tools for your journey. It's like finding the hidden treasure that's been buried deep within you all along. This newfound awareness of your potential brought with it a surge of confidence, a belief in your own abilities that you may not have had before. You now realize that you are capable of so much more than you ever imagined. You are not just equipped to face the challenges ahead, you are destined to overcome them with grace and strength. With this increase in self-confidence also came a renewed determination to move forward. No matter what, in this awakening, you discovered a truth: you are not alone on this journey. There is a greater force, God's divine hand, guiding your every step. Psalm chapter 37 verse 23 confirms, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him." You are now walking with the assurance that you are being guided every step of the way. Have you ever felt God's presence in your life, guiding you in ways you never expected? This realization that you are not walking this path alone has brought a deep sense of peace and reassurance. The path ahead is not without challenges, but now, with a renewed understanding of your potential and divine guidance, you know that you are more than equipped to face whatever comes your way. This awakening is not just a moment in time. It is the beginning of a transformation that will continue to unfold. As you embrace this new perspective, the person you once were gives way to the person you are becoming. The trials, the setbacks, the falls, they no longer define you. Instead, they are the raw material from which your strength and wisdom have been forged. You are stepping into your full potential, and with each step, you move closer to the triumphant return that will surprise the world. The light that has been turned on inside you is not just for you to see. It's a light meant to shine brightly, guiding others along their own path as well. Your awakening is not just for personal gain, it's for the greater good. As you fulfill the purpose you were always destined for, introspection has become an essential part of your personal growth, a tool that has helped you reconnect with your deeper self and understand the nuances of your emotions and experiences. At some point, you began dedicating time to reflect on the journey you've been on, to look back at the lessons learned, and to listen to that still, inner voice that's been guiding you all along. Whether through moments of prayer, meditation, or simply sitting in silence, you have cultivated a practice that strengthens your connection with both yourself and the universe. Have you ever noticed how just a few moments of quiet reflection can provide you with more clarity and peace than anything else in these moments? You tapped into a well of wisdom, and this connection brought a profound sense of serenity. It has helped you make decisions that feel more aligned with your true purpose, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with confidence, knowing you are walking the path meant for you. As you deepened your connection with yourself, you also began to understand the critical importance of the energy surrounding you. In your awakening, you realize that the people, environments, and even the thoughts you once tolerated now had a different significance. What you used to accept without question began to feel out of place, and you became more discerning about where and with whom you spent your time. It's as though the veil was lifted, and you saw with greater clarity the impact that external influences had on your inner peace. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33 warns, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." This verse resonates deeply with your journey as you began to move away from people and environments that drained you, toward those that nourished your soul and supported your growth. It became clear that, in order to stay focused on your mission, protecting your inner space was no longer optional. It became a necessity. This discernment allowed you to guard your energy, ensuring that it was spent on what truly mattered and creating the conditions for you to fully flourish. In this process of introspection and awakening, you came to realize something even more profound: the certainty that your return would not be just any return. No, this was going to be something far greater. This was the beginning of your true rebirth. The person you are becoming is someone new, someone transformed, and this transformation is about to be revealed to the world. Have you felt that inner stirring, that sense that you're on the cusp of something extraordinary? Every experience you've had, every lesson you've learned, and every moment of introspection has been building toward this defining moment. You're preparing to show the world a version of yourself that has been shaped by pain, tested by fear, and forged in the fire of trials. This isn't a return to what you once were. This is the emergence of a new version of you, stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. Your journey has been a powerful process of turning pain into power, fear into courage, and doubt into unshakable faith. And now, with the strength and clarity you've gained through these trials, you're about to show the world just how transformative that journey has been. The world is about to witness your rise, not just as someone who overcame adversity, but as someone who used that adversity as fuel to create something beautiful, something extraordinary. What would your life look like if you embraced this new version of yourself? One that is no longer held back by fear or doubt, but fully confident in the greatness that lies ahead. Your return will not be a quiet moment. It will be a powerful declaration of everything you have become and everything you are about to achieve. Your rebirth is just the beginning, and the world will be forever changed by the version of yourself that is now emerging. Building resilience is a profound and ongoing journey that defines the path of God's chosen ones. Resilience is not something that happens instantly. It is cultivated through the trials and struggles you face, through the deepest wounds and hardest battles. Picture a tree growing in rocky, unforgiving soil. Its roots stretch deep, searching for nourishment and stability despite the harsh conditions. The tree stands tall, unwavering. This is how resilience works in your life, rooted in your experiences, making you unshakable when the storms of life come. Psalm chapter 92 verse 12 declares, "The righteous will flourish like a palm tree. They will grow like a cedar of Lebanon." Just like that tree, you are being rooted in the tough terrain of life, allowing you to withstand any storm. Can you remember a time when you felt like the world was crumbling around you? Yet you stood firm, just like that tree. You have faced challenges that tested every part of you, your mind, your emotions, your spirit. Every struggle was a chance to grow stronger, to fortify your resilience. When the road seemed impossible, you found ways to keep moving forward. Every obstacle you overcame taught you something new, how to adapt, how to find solutions to what seemed like impossible problems, how to trust in hope even when all seemed lost. Philippians chapter 4 verse 13 states, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." This verse reminds you that no matter how impossible the challenge seemed, you were never alone in your fight. Think back to those dark days. How did you manage to hold on to your faith and push through? These lessons not only prepared you for future storms, but transformed you into someone others can look to for inspiration. Your life became a beacon of hope for others who felt lost. Matthew chapter 5 verse 14 declares, "You're the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Have you ever considered how your resilience now serves as a guiding light for those around you? Practicing resilience involves more than just surviving. It's about actively strengthening your mind, body, and spirit. Meditation, prayer, and physical exercise became essential to your routine. These aren't just activities but tools for maintaining emotional balance, nourishing your soul, and replenishing your energy. Psalm chapter 46 verse 10 commands, "Be still and know that I am God." Have you noticed how a moment of prayer can calm the chaos inside? How a few minutes of meditation can bring clarity each time you take a moment to clear your mind of negativity and reconnect with your higher purpose? You renew your strength, and every prayer is not just a plea for help, but a surrender, a declaration of trust in God's plan for you. Psalm chapter 23 verse 1 affirms, "The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing." It's in these moments of surrender that your faith is deepened and your determination is renewed. Your journey toward resilience has also been shaped by the stories of those who walked similar paths before you. Biblical figures like Job, who endured unimaginable suffering but held fast to his faith, and David, who faced countless battles but always trusted in God's power, are examples that reflect your own struggles. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 17 confirms, "But the Lord stood at my side and gave me strength," just as he stood by David and Job during their trials. These stories are not just ancient history, they are blueprints for your life. Like them, you have faced hardships, but you are not defined by those hardships. Instead, you are defined by your ability to rise, just as they did. Have you ever reflected on how these biblical heroes saw their struggles, not as defeats, but as opportunities for God's glory to shine through them? As you read about their courage, did you feel the strength to push forward, knowing that their resilience was also in you? Resilience doesn't thrive in isolation. It is nurtured by the community that surrounds you. It is crucial to have people who understand your journey, who believe in you even when you can't see the way forward. The power of a supportive community cannot be overstated. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 states, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor." Think of those who have walked beside you, your mentors, your friends, your family, their unwavering belief in you, their encouragement, and their presence have lifted you when you felt like giving up. Can you recall a moment when a word of encouragement from someone gave you the strength to continue? These connections have strengthened your resilience, making you capable of facing whatever comes your way. As you continue to grow, resilience becomes not just a shield, but a tool to help you thrive. It's not merely about surviving the storms of life, but about emerging from them stronger, wiser, and more determined. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 10 declares, "Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed." God's word reminds us in James chapter 1 verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." This promise is for you. Your comeback will not just be a return, but a glorious restoration, a testament to the power of resilience and unwavering faith. Your return will shock those who once doubted you, for it will be a living testimony to the truth that true strength is not about avoiding hardship, but about rising again after each fall. Psalm chapter 37 verse 24 affirms, "Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand." Your comeback will demonstrate that your purpose, rooted in God's plan, will always prevail. How will your comeback impact those who have watched you struggle? Will they see the incredible power of God's work in your life as God's chosen ones? Your journey is far from ordinary. It is a path of growth, transformation, and ultimate purpose. At one point in your life, there came a pivotal moment when you realized that your mission, as you once understood it, needed a complete redefinition. This moment of clarity didn't come easily. It was forged through countless internal and external struggles, a battle within yourself that eventually led you to understand that your purpose needed to evolve. You were not abandoning the path you had walked before, but instead, you were being called to take a different direction, one that better reflected the maturity and wisdom you had gained. This decision was a crucial turning point in your journey, ensuring that your comeback would not only be profound, but transformative, shaking everyone who witnesses it. Redefining your mission was not just a change in direction. It was a deep and often painful introspection. You had to dive deep into your own heart and soul to understand what truly mattered, what moved you, what your soul yearned for. You began questioning the motivations that had once driven you, the goals you had once set, and the values you had followed. This honest self-examination, though sometimes uncomfortable, was necessary for realigning your purpose with your truest essence. Isn't it true that growth often demands an honest confrontation with who we really are? 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5 commands, "Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. Do you not realize that Christ Jesus is in you? Unless, of course, you fail the test. When you did this, you began to see the path ahead more clearly. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing what you needed to do to fulfill your divine calling. This moment of clarity was essential because, without it, you would have remained on a path that no longer resonated with the true mission God had prepared for you. One of the most important parts of redefining your mission was letting go. Letting go of old beliefs, outdated patterns, and the expectations of others that no longer served your purpose. You had to release these things, even though they had been part of your identity for so long. It wasn't an easy process. In fact, it was painful. Can you remember how difficult it was to let go of things that were deeply rooted in your life? But as you did, you made room for new possibilities, new beliefs, new opportunities, and new connections that would carry you forward. This act of letting go was liberating, freeing you to move toward your new mission with a lighter heart, a clearer mind, and renewed strength. The weight that once burdened you was now lifted, and you were able to move with greater freedom toward the destiny God had designed for you. Philippians chapter 3 verses 13 to 14 states, "Forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." Just as Paul let go of his past, you too are letting go of what no longer serves you, creating space for God's purpose to unfold. Courage played a major role in this reset. You needed the bravery to walk a path that might be misunderstood by those around you. Were you ever afraid that people wouldn't understand the changes you were making? That they might question your new direction? Courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to move forward despite it. You knew that the mission ahead would be challenging, but you also knew it was the only way for you to live authentically. You were driven by the desire to fulfill your potential and step fully into the person God had called you to be. Every step you took, even when it felt uncertain, was one closer to aligning with your true purpose and living the life you were meant to lead. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 commands, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." These words became your guide as you stepped forward, trusting that God would be by your side, no matter how challenging the journey. Along this journey, new allies appeared. People who once seemed irrelevant to your life now played crucial roles in your mission. Books, ideas, and experiences that had once felt disconnected from your purpose now offered vital insights. These newfound influences enriched your path, bringing support, inspiration, and the tools you needed to move forward. You learned to recognize the value in these new relationships and ideas, embracing them as part of your evolving mission. Your life became a tapestry of diverse resources that shaped and strengthened your purpose. Proverbs chapter 27 verse 17 states, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." The people and experiences you encountered along the way became the sharpening tools that helped refine your calling. Just as David relied on Jonathan's friendship for encouragement, as 1 Samuel chapter 18 verses 3 to 4 confirms, you too found that these new connections helped you sharpen your focus and grow stronger in your mission. This transformation, this redefining of your mission, is not just a temporary change. It is the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that will undoubtedly shock everyone who watches you rise from where you once were. What if this is the moment you've been waiting for? The moment where your comeback will be so powerful that even those who doubted you will have no choice but to witness the greatness unfolding. God has prepared you for this. Your mission, your purpose, is now aligned with His will, and your comeback is destined to be nothing short of miraculous. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 1 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is your time to arise and shine, to show the world the power of God working through you. Are you ready to step into the fullness of what God has prepared for you? The world is waiting for your transformation, and it's about to see a side of you they've never imagined. With your mission redefined and a clear new vision, the next crucial step is preparing for the return. This preparation goes beyond the physical. It is a journey of mental, emotional, and spiritual strengthening. You understand that a triumphant return does not happen by chance, but through meticulous and dedicated preparation. Every moment of your life thus far has been a preparation for this great moment. And now it is time to intensify your efforts to ensure that you are ready to surprise the world with your resurrection. First, mental preparation is essential. This involves cultivating a mindset of resilience and unwavering determination. Techniques such as meditation and visualization become powerful tools to calm the mind, focus on the present, and project a successful future. Visualize your return in vivid detail, the actions you will take, the obstacles you will overcome, and the impact you will have. This practice not only strengthens your confidence, but also prepares your subconscious to act on this vision. Secondly, emotional preparation is key. Recognize and process all the emotions that arise as you prepare for this transformation. Fears, anxieties, and doubts are natural, but they should not be ignored. Facing them head-on through self-reflection and the support of mentors or therapists is vital. This emotional clarity will give you the stability you need to navigate any challenge that arises. Remember, it is in accepting and understanding your emotions that you find true strength. Spiritual preparation cannot be neglected. Strengthen your connection with something greater than yourself, whether through faith, meditation, or connection with nature. This is the time to align with your divine purpose and seek spiritual guidance. Practices such as prayer, reading sacred texts, or simply spending time in silent contemplation can offer deep insights and renew your spiritual energy. This deep connection will be an inexhaustible source of strength during your return. Furthermore, physical preparation is equally important. Your body is the vehicle through which you will manifest your actions and impact the world. Adopt an exercise routine that strengthens your body and increases your endurance. Eat healthily to ensure your body has the energy it needs to support your efforts. Physical health directly affects your mental and emotional clarity, making it a vital component of your preparation. Finally, practical preparation should not be forgotten. Plan your steps carefully, set clear goals, and develop strategies to achieve them. This is the time to organize your resources, align your actions with your mission, and ensure you're prepared for any eventuality. Meticulous preparation ensures that you can respond effectively to any challenge and seize every opportunity that arises. This careful planning is the foundation of your success. With this preparation complete, you are ready to make your triumphant return. Every aspect of your preparation, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and practical, will come together to create a powerful impact. The world is about to witness the return of someone who not only overcame adversity, but turned it into a force for change. Your return will not only be a surprise, but a living testament to the power of preparation and the resilience of a true chosen one. The return of a chosen one is not just an event. It is a wave of transformation that reverberates in all directions. Imagine the impact of a stone thrown into a still lake. The ripples expand, touching everything around them. This is what your return will be like, a catalyst for change that will inspire and challenge those around you. From the moment you decide to stand up, the world will start to notice, and nothing will be the same as before. By standing up and embracing your true potential, you redefine who you are. Each action taken with confidence and purpose solidifies your identity as a powerful and resilient being. Your self-esteem grows exponentially as you see the fruits of your work and dedication. You become the embodiment of transformation, demonstrating that it is possible to overcome any adversity and emerge stronger and more determined. The impact also extends to your relationships. Your journey and return will inspire those who know you. Friends and family who witness your rise will be motivated to face their own challenges with renewed courage and hope. Your story will become a beacon of inspiration, showing that no matter the circumstances, there is always a way to rise again in triumph. You will become a natural leader, someone others will turn to for guidance and strength. The return of a chosen one also has a significant effect on the community. Your actions and decisions will begin to shape the environment around you. By leading by example, you will create a culture of resilience, perseverance, and optimism. Your initiatives will have a positive impact, inspiring tangible change and improvements. People who may have never believed in their own abilities will begin to see you as an example to follow, awakening a sense of possibility within them. Your return will be a memorable event, leaving a lasting legacy The ripples of your transformation will touch everyone around you, creating a web of positive impact that stretches infinitely. This is the power of a true chosen one, transforming your own life and, in doing so, transforming the world. Get ready to take your rightful place and show the world what is possible when someone rises up with purpose and determination. As you prepare for this new phase, remember that your comeback is not just about proving something to others, but about showing yourself how far you've come. This is the time to celebrate your victories, big and small, and recognize the immense growth you have achieved. Every scar is a symbol of your courage, every success a proof of your ability. Your return will be a living testimony that with faith and perseverance, anything is possible. As we immerse ourselves in the profound insights from the first message, we uncover the sacred journey of preparation, where God meticulously aligns a woman's heart and spirit for an extraordinary breakthrough through seasons of solitude, divine discontent, surrender, heightened spiritual sensitivity, refining pressure, providential connections, and an unshakable inner conviction. The Creator equips His chosen for a destiny that surpasses their past experiences. This revelation stirs a deep awareness that your current challenges are not random, but part of a divine orchestration, positioning you for a comeback that will resonate far beyond your own story. The promise of restoration and purpose ignites hope, affirming that every tear, every moment of waiting, and every act of obedience is planting seeds for a harvest that will astonish those around you. Yet, as this truth settles in your spirit, there is a pressing shift in the atmosphere, a call to immediate action and attentiveness that cannot be ignored. This brings us to the urgent and weighty message of the second reflection, which serves as a divine summons to halt, listen, and align with heaven's immediate directives. While the first message illuminated the path of preparation, assuring you that God is crafting a powerful testimony through your trials, this second message sounds a spiritual alarm, demanding your full attention to a critical moment in your journey. It is not merely an invitation to reflect, but a clarion call to respond, as heaven itself issues an emergency lockdown for your soul. The Creator is interrupting your routine with a message that carries eternal stakes: your peace, your purpose, and your alignment with His perfect timing. This is a moment where delay could mean missing the divine intersection of your destiny, where obedience becomes the key to unlocking the doors God has prepared. Together, these messages weave a seamless narrative. The first builds your faith for the promise, while the second galvanizes you to act on it with urgency, ensuring that the groundwork of your preparation meets the decisive action required to step fully into the future God has ordained for you. Why would God interrupt your life right now with force, with urgency, with no room for delay? Why would heaven break into your ordinary day with a message so weighty it shakes your spirit awake? This is not gentle encouragement or a pat on the back. It is divine instruction from the throne room. When God speaks like this, it's never empty. Heaven doesn't waste words. Every syllable carries weight. Every whisper is filled with intention. There is something in motion, something you can't afford to miss. God is calling your attention because there are eternal things at stake. Your peace, your calling, your alignment with His timing. And when eternity intersects with your timeline, it demands your full attention. The urgency you feel isn't emotional, it's spiritual. Because when heaven moves, delay can become danger. And when God sends a word like this, it means something must shift now before what's ahead becomes unreachable. Let's be honest, you felt the pressure, the confusion, the heaviness in your chest that something isn't right or that something big is coming. But you can't quite see it. That tension is not chaos, it's divine disruption. It's heaven breaking the silence, pulling you out of distraction and setting your feet on solid ground. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 assures, "The Lord is not slow in keeping His promise as some understand slowness. Instead, He is patient with you." But patience is not permission to ignore the moment. In the book of Esther, a hidden threat was rising behind palace walls. The Jewish people faced destruction, and yet, only one woman was positioned to respond. Esther didn't ask for the spotlight. But when Mordecai said to her, Esther, chapter 4 verse 14 reveals, "Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Something awakened. She realized her silence would cost lives. And your silence, your delay, may cost something too. You are not being stirred because God needs your attention for His sake. You're being stirred because your obedience is the hinge on which doors will open for you and for others. The next step you take is not just personal, it's generational. That's why the enemy has been after your hope, not just your feelings, but your hope. Because hope is the engine of movement. Without it, your faith starves. Without it, your spirit stalls. The enemy would rather see you numb than on fire, passive than prayerful. He's tried to suffocate your hope under layers of rejection, delay, distraction, and despair. But here this hope is not gone. It's buried, but it's not dead. Psalm chapter 42 verse 11 encourages, "Why are you downcast, O my soul? Why so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God." Hope is heaven's pulse within you, a relentless rhythm that persists even beneath the weight of life's rubble, quietly whispering, "Get up, you're not done." Even when the world around you appears shrouded in loss, when the weight of unchanging years presses heavily on your spirit, hope remains an unyielding force, a divine spark that refuses to be extinguished. It is the quiet assurance that your story is far from over, that God is still writing your narrative with purpose and promise. In 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 41 to 44, after years of relentless drought, Elijah boldly told Ahab, "Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." Yet, in that moment, the sky was clear. No clouds, no thunder, just the barren, cracked earth stretching endlessly before them. Despite the absence of visible signs, Elijah climbed to the top of Mount Carmel, bowed low in fervent prayer, and trusted in God's promise. 7 times he sent his servant to scan the horizon, looking toward the sea for any sign of change. 6 times. The servant returned with nothing to report, but on the 7th time he saw it, a small cloud, no larger than a man's hand, rising from the distant waves. This is the essence of hope. It sees rain in the distance when others see only a cloudless sky. It perceives the promise of abundance when the world is still parched. Elijah's faith wasn't anchored in what his eyes could see. It was rooted in what his spirit heard, the sound of God's promise, the whisper of divine assurance. Hope operates in this sacred space, where faith precedes sight, where belief outpaces evidence, and where perseverance stands firm before the breakthrough arrives. Hope is not passive. It is an active, courageous choice to trust in God's timing, even when the ground beneath you remains dry and unyielding. It is the audacity to climb the mountain, to pray without ceasing, to send your heart to the horizon time and again, trusting that the smallest sign, a cloud the size of a hand, marks the beginning of God's mighty work. Hope is the divine thread that weaves through your trials, stitching together every moment of pain, doubt, and waiting into a tapestry of purpose. It is the voice that calls you to rise when despair bids you to stay down. It is the strength that compels you to take one more step, to pray one more prayer, to look one more time for the promise God has spoken over your life. Even when the years have been long and the landscape of your life feels desolate, hope reminds you that God's promises are not bound by what you see, but by what He has declared. Like Elijah, you are called to move not by the absence of clouds, but by the sound of heaven's assurance. Hope hears the rain before it falls, believes in the harvest before it grows, and stands ready for the breakthrough before it manifests. It is the divine courage to trust that the small cloud on your horizon is the herald of a downpour, a flood of God's grace that will transform your dry places into rivers of life. But hope doesn't work alone. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 tells us, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for." Hope gives you the vision. Faith gives it form. And then comes patience, not passivity, but spiritual endurance. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 reminds us, you need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised: hope, faith, and patience. This is the trio hell fears the most because it's unshakable. When these three work together, delay cannot destroy you, darkness cannot drown you, and disappointment cannot define you, and God ties hope to your future. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 proclaims, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future." If hope is the seed, the future is the harvest. But if the enemy can poison your hope, he can slow your faith and wear down your patience. That's why hope is always the first target. And that's why God is lighting it back up in you right now. History proves it through the faithful ones who walked before us. Abraham had every reason to give up. Romans chapter 4 says he faced the facts his body was as good as dead. Sarah's womb barren. But he didn't let facts kill his future. He anchored himself in promise. He hoped against hope. And because of that, he became the father of nations. You are not hopeless. You're in the middle of a holy setup. Don't confuse stillness with abandonment. Don't confuse silence with absence. God is working in the unseen, and your hope is the evidence that He's not finished. So hold it tightly. Guard it fiercely, because that hope, however small, however fragile, is the seed of everything God is about to do next in your life. And it's not too late. Chosen one. This word isn't just a reflection of what has been happening around you. It's a call to what must happen in you. Hope, real, unshakable, heaven-breathed hope, cannot be allowed to die here. Don't bury what God gave you. Don't silence what heaven spoke over you. That picture you saw in prayer, the whisper you heard when no one else was around, that moment of clarity you were too afraid to believe, that wasn't your imagination. It was a divine blueprint. And what God sketches in your spirit, He intends to fulfill in your life. Numbers chapter 23 verse 19 affirms, God is not human that He should lie, not a human being that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? But here's the danger delay. If left unchallenged, becomes a disease, not of the body, but of the heart. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 12 states, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. This isn't poetic exaggeration. It's a spiritual law. The longer you wait with no movement, no clarity, no breakthrough, the more your heart starts to fold inward. Doubt creeps in. Faith grows weary. And slowly, despair begins to whisper its twisted truths. Maybe I heard wrong. Maybe that promise was never for me. Maybe this is just how it ends. But those are not God's words. That is not the voice of the Father. That's the language of weariness. And weariness is a thief. It will try to talk you out of destiny. It will try to convince you that settling is safer than believing again. Yet heaven is shouting something different. The delay must break. This is not just a message, it's a rescue. A divine interception before you surrender what's still alive. You've been carrying hope like a burden instead of holding it like a promise. You've grown tired of waiting, and heaven knows it. But today, the Spirit of God is saying, shake the dust off your soul, stand back up, hope again, dream again, speak again, because He hasn't changed His mind. His word is still alive, His hand is still steady, and His power is still more than able to do what He promised. Isaiah chapter 55 verses 10 to 11 declares, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. You may feel like Lazarus, wrapped in the grave clothes of silence, surrounded by evidence that it's too late. But just as Jesus stood before that tomb and declared, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? He is saying the same to you now. What looks lifeless is only dormant, waiting for God's word to awaken it. No delay has the authority to cancel what heaven has written. No rejection has the final word over your life. In fact, that closed door wasn't a punishment. It was protection. That relationship that ended wasn't the loss. It was mercy. The opportunity you missed wasn't your end. It was God rerouting you to what's real, what's true, what's yours. Revelation chapter 3 verse 7 confirms, what He opens, no one can shut, and what He shuts, no one can open. Every no from man was setting the stage for God's eternal yes. The waiting season wasn't wasted, it was preparation. While you were wondering if anything was happening, God was strengthening your spirit, stretching your capacity, shaping your identity. You weren't being overlooked, you were being refined, chosen one. Every tear you cried has watered the soil of your promise. Every night you prayed with no answer was a night the roots of your faith grew deeper. You may have felt buried, but truly you were being planted. And now the season of unveiling is here. Look at the stories, like Joseph. You were thrown into pits, falsely accused, left behind. But the prison was never the end. The palace was already on the map. Like Job, you've lost things money can't replace, but restoration is on the horizon, and when it comes, it will be double. Like Hannah, you wept bitter tears, misunderstood even in the house of God, but in time, you held the promise in your arms and named it Samuel because you knew it was real. Like David, anointed long before the crown ever touched his head. You fought battles no one saw and wrestled lions in secret. But your throne is not a myth. Your time is not forgotten. And yes, like Sarah, perhaps you laughed when the promise came again because it felt too far gone, too delayed to be real. But the laughter of disbelief will soon become the laughter of joy. What mocked you will soon marvel at you, not because of your strength, but because of the faithfulness of the God who never left your side. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 assures, being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. So breathe again, lift your head, hope again, not because it's easy, but because God is still God. He hasn't lost control, He hasn't lost sight of you, and He hasn't changed His plans. You may have been hidden, but now you are being revealed. You may have felt forgotten, but you are remembered. You may have been broken, but now you are rising whole. So now that your spirit has been awakened and your hope stirred back to life, here comes the part most people miss the application. Because without action, even a word from heaven can fade like a dream forgotten by morning. Revelation without response eventually dies. That's why right now God is not just speaking to encourage you. He's instructing you to protect, feed, and grow what has been revived inside of you. First, feed your hope with the Word of God. Romans chapter 15 verse 4 says, everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through the endurance taught in the Scriptures and the encouragement they provide, we might have hope. The Bible is more than a holy book. It's oxygen to your faith and food for your future. Every time you open its pages, your spirit is nourished. And just like your physical body weakens without food, your spiritual strength withers when the word is neglected. A starving believer will always be vulnerable to fear, but a believer full of the Word walks with quiet confidence even through storms. The more you eat, the more you endure, the more you study, the clearer the vision becomes, and the clearer the vision, the stronger your hope will stand. Second, protect your hope from harmful voices. Not everyone is assigned to your vision. Some will misunderstand it, others will mock it, and a few will try to dismantle it with their doubt. Guard what God gave you. There are moments in life when you must learn to walk with selective hearing, closing your ears to voices that speak fear, settling, or compromise. Jeremiah was called as a prophet before he ever spoke a word. But even he tried to disqualify himself. "I am too young," he said. God corrected him immediately. Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 6 to 7 mentions, "Do not say, 'I am too young.' You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you." The lesson: be careful not just of other people's voices, but of your own internal narrative. Your mind can speak lies that your spirit was never meant to believe. So protect your hope. Speak life over it. Let the voices that surround you echo God's promise, not contradict it. Third, water your hope with prayer. Prayer is not a last resort, it's a lifeline. It is the breath of heaven exchanged between God and man. Every whispered prayer, every groan too deep for words, every tear shed in secret, they don't disappear. They become irrigation for the seeds of hope God planted in you long ago. James chapter 5 verse 16 declares, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." When you pray, you align heaven and earth. You exchange your heaviness for His peace. You trade your confusion for clarity. And even when nothing shifts outwardly, everything is strengthening inwardly. Prayer gives your hope roots that can't be pulled up by circumstance. Lastly, activate your hope through obedience, because hope that stays dormant turns into regret. It must move, it must walk, it must act. James wrote, "Faith without works is dead," and the same truth applies to hope. God often waits for our movement before He reveals the next miracle. Remember the widow in 2 Kings chapter 4. She had nothing left but a small jar of oil. Yet, when the prophet Elisha told her to borrow as many jars as she could and start pouring, something miraculous happened. The oil didn't stop flowing until the last jar was full. Her obedience made room for provision. Her action activated the promise. Hope comes alive when you move, when you step out, even with shaking knees, when you say yes without knowing how it will all work out, when you obey, even while you still hope. But don't miss this, your hope is not just for you. Noah didn't build the ark for himself. Joseph didn't store grain just for personal survival. Moses didn't confront Pharaoh just to secure his own freedom. And neither is your hope just about making it through another day. Your obedience, your endurance, your faithfulness, it's creating ripple effects you may never fully see on this side of eternity. When you choose to believe again, even in the middle of your waiting, you create space for others to rise, others who are watching, others who will follow, others who will survive because you kept pressing forward. That's why the enemy has fought your hope so hard, because he knows it's generational. If he can get you to quit, he silences more than your voice. He chokes the future of those who were supposed to find their way through your story. But if you keep going, if you hold your hope with both hands, you'll become a living testimony. Your life will preach before you ever say a word, because hope is contagious. And when people see you standing through the storm, they will find strength to stand in theirs. That's why this word couldn't wait. That's why heaven interrupted your routine. You were never just waiting. You were being prepared. What you thought was silence was sacred strategy. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you thought was death was divine delay. You are not at the end. You are at the threshold. The same God who parted seas, who shook prison walls, who fed thousands with 5 loaves and 2 fish, who calmed winds with a whisper. That same God is with you now, breathing on your hope, rewriting what disappointment tried to destroy, reawakening everything you thought was finished. This is not the closing chapter. This is the turning point. Let these words sink in your hope lives. Your promise stands, and your destiny is still unfolding. So walk boldly, love deeply, pray fiercely, and hold fast to the God who does not lie, does not fail, and does not abandon what he begins. Heaven is not just reviving you, it's building something through you, and your story is far from over. Now, as we've received this word, let's seal it with prayer, because when the word of God meets the Spirit of God in prayer, transformation begins. Wherever you are, whether you're in your room, on your walk, or driving in silence, lean in. Let this prayer be your agreement with heaven. Heavenly Father, we come before you with open hearts and humble spirits. Lord, thank you for this divine interruption, for shaking us awake, for breathing life back into places where hope had dried up. Thank you for loving us enough to not let us settle. You saw us standing at the edge of giving up, and you called us back. God, we confess that delay has made our hearts weary. We've doubted. We've grown silent. Some of us have buried the dreams you once gave us because we didn't see how they could possibly come to pass. But today, by the power of your word and the whisper of your Spirit, we choose to believe again. We declare that hope is not dead. Hope is alive because you are alive. You are the God who finishes what you start, the God who watches over his word to perform it, the God who parts seas, opens graves, and makes barren places bloom. Father, restore our strength where it has been drained by disappointment. Heal the wounds left by closed doors, broken relationships, and long seasons of silence. Break the lies we've believed that it's too late, that we've missed it, that you've moved on. Silence the voice of despair and awaken the voice of faith. Give us discernment, Lord, to recognize your instructions. Teach us to feed on your word daily, to guard our hope from every voice that contradicts your truth. Surround us with people who carry faith and give us wisdom to walk in obedience, even when the next step feels small. Lord, help us to remember that our hope is not just for us, that our obedience today secures someone else's deliverance tomorrow. May we build what you ask us to build, even if we don't yet see the rain. May we walk when you say walk, even if the waters haven't parted yet. We trust you, Father, even in the waiting, even in the wilderness, even in the silence. Because you are good, you are faithful, and you never forget what you promised. We lift every dream, every unanswered prayer, every buried promise back into your hands. And we say, let your will be done. Breathe on our hope again. God, let it rise from the ashes. Let it stand on solid ground. Let it pull us forward into the future you've already written. In Jesus' powerful, faithful, and matchless name, we pray. Amen. If this prayer spoke to you, I invite you to drop an amen. I live by faith in the comments as a sign of agreement with heaven. Your yes matters, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a word meant for you. Thank you for spending this sacred moment with me. Until next time, stay rooted in the Word, stay grounded in hope, and keep walking in faith. Your story is still unfolding, and God is just getting started. God bless you. As we bring today's message to a close, let me remind you, your comeback is not just an option. It's a divine promise that God has spoken over your life. No matter how deep the struggle, no matter how impossible it may seem, God's chosen ones are always called to rise above. Your setback is only setting the stage for a mighty comeback that will astonish everyone around you. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by the power of God working in your life right now. The best is yet to come. And when you rise, those who doubted will be amazed at what God has done in and through you. If this message touched your heart and inspired you today, I would love for you to consider supporting this ministry with a super thanks. Your support, whether through a donation or through simply sharing this message, helps us reach more people with the hope of God's promises. But know this, whether or not you donate, I am incredibly grateful for you. Your presence here, your faith, and your engagement mean more than words can say. Thank you for being part of this community. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this message with others who need to hear it. I also invite you to leave a comment. Tell us about your own journey and how God is moving in your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts and encourage you further. May God's blessings overflow in your life. May His favor rest upon you, and may you walk boldly into the future He has prepared for you. Know that your comeback is coming, and it will be more glorious than anything you've experienced before. Stay encouraged, keep trusting, and always remember God's plans for you are far greater than any obstacle you face. You are chosen, and your breakthrough is on the way.